Welcome back to the channel as we hit the 500 subscriber milestone. This video is intended as a brief review of what has been produced over the past 2 years, and an update on the future content for the Retro Attic Mancave. I've certainly been on a journey understanding how to film, edit and produce content. It's now great to look back and see how the production quality is hopefully improved as my skills have developed. Shortly after reaching 100 subscribers, I produced the first of a 2-part bolt-action battle report, First Encounter in Normandy. These cinematic battle reports have always been popular on the channel. This was followed by a model railway show review in Sedgefield, and was only the second live-action project I had undertaken. This was quickly followed by a wargame show, Battleground in Stockton-on-Tees, which has received almost the most views of any video I have produced to date. The second part of the bolt-action battle report, First Encounter in Normandy, has had a similar number of views as the first one, so I guess all those who enjoyed the first part came back for its conclusion. I then decided to update the bolt-action board and enjoyed producing an overview of how I built the new battle board, highlighting the materials and supplies used for those wanting to replicate some or all of Petit Village, which can be configured in many different ways to keep gameplay fresh and interesting. After this, it was time for the Christmas special, and I decided to showcase one of the 1980s Hornby Minitrix trains in my collection that had been converted from DC to DCC, a British Rail Ivet that could be seen along with other retro trains and rolling stock as the snow began to fall. The new year was kicked off with another bolt-action battle report using the newly built Petit Village. This was actually an introductory game set up for a friend. First wargame show of the season kicked off with a trip to York Racecourse, Vapnatak. I was still learning filming these live events and soon realised that I needed to add commentary and interviews to add interest to the reviews. Attended the Festival of British Railway Modelling at Doncaster Racecourse, but found shows like this too large and impersonal for my channel requirements. I experimented with a review of a board game, Lost Patrol, but with limited views of this video, decided this format didn't work for the channel. I then had a lot of fun editing together the cutscenes from the 1997 Judge Dredd PlayStation game, set to a song by Slaverseed called He's the Law. This turned out better than I expected, with the film and music coming together in a coherent video with a storyline not dissimilar to the 2012 Dredd movie. For some bizarre reason, the Berkeley Model Railway exhibition is one of my highest viewed videos, although I can't for the life of me understand why. A short quick video was made to celebrate the 40th birthday of the Sinclair ZX Spectrum that is one of the retro computer cornerstones of the channel. After purchasing a limited edition Pico N-Gauge wagon to commemorate the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, I had to produce a celebratory video. Then, using some old footage taken during a gameplay to commemorate the 75th DD anniversary, I produced a black and white battle report, lest we forget. Continuing with the Judge Dredd theme, I showcased the Acid House Kickstarter scenery, which is ideal for playing the Warlord Games Judge Dredd skirmish game. It was then a nostalgic trip to Bishop Midland to film a model railway exhibition, as my parents had lived in this village before moving back to Whitley Bay. Britcon in Nottingham was special for 2 reasons. My daughter was attending the university at the time, which was the location for this event, and this is where I did my first live interview with Tim Porter, the Mad Axeman. This was a format that I would adopt for future events, as it was interesting to hear from the individuals attending the shows. So it was on to Border Reaver 2022, where I got carried away and interviewed everyone at the show. However, this was great practice for moving forward with selective interviews for future shows. Sedgefield Model Railway Show, no interviews, but this was the first event that I decided to add some narration to the video, which proved to be popular. It was time for another bolt-action battle report, where I used my Rangers at a game filmed at the South Tyneside Tabletop Gaming Club. Another visit to the Darlington Model Railway exhibition, improving on the commentary and the title banners for each layout featured in the video. Then I tried another experiment, filming in the retro attic man cave, showcasing some of the Marvel Bronze Age comic book collection that I'd been updating over the past year, the best of which were put on display using comic book spinner racks. I do need to do an update video on this, as there have been some cool recent additions. An interesting visit to my first all-gauge exhibition that took place in the grounds of the Nissan car factory in Sunderland. Then an interesting collaboration project with another fellow YouTuber, Retro Marvel Man, where we both reviewed the Quest Probe series. His video looked at the Marvel comic books, where mine would focus on the associated 8-bit games, specifically on the ZX Spectrum. It was exciting to release both these videos together on different channels, with each referencing the other. I hope to do another similar project in the future. I then decided to experiment with filming narrating a comic book story using Strontium Dog from the 1970s British comic book Star-Lord. It was Battleground 2022, where it all came together with good filming techniques to capture the various war games at the event, commentary to explain the games and miniatures being reviewed, along with selective interviews to give even more insight into the boards on display at the show. The second part of the Strontium Dog comic book series was released, but viewing figures indicated that this was not a popular format for the channel. The Christmas special had already been filmed, so a comic book review of the Marvel superhero The Thing was released to round off 2022. The event season for 2023 kicked off again at Vatmatak in York, where I even managed to get an interview with YouTuber Dave Walker from one of my favourite wargaming channels, MS Paints. With interviews, commentary and complimentary film work to showcase the games on display, this was one of my best reviews to date. This was followed by Hammerhead at the Newark Showground, but I was surprised to see that this video was not viewed as much as the previous shows. As always, wanted to try something new for the channel, I shared the video from my recent visit to the Flight Simulator Centre in Newcastle, where I got to fly an F-18 Hornet. Also, with the release of Warhammer 40k 10th edition, I shared my journey in producing a Grey Knight list for this iconic wargame. I had a great time at the Northeast Retro Gaming Show, but views for this video have been poor, although I had fun filming and playing the games. Finally, using the trusted format of selected interviews, commentary and filming, the Border Reaver 2023 show has been very popular, exceeding over 1,000 views in only a few days after it was released. With a number of new subscribers, this has taken the channel through the 500 subscriber milestone, for which I'm very grateful. So what happens next on the Retro Attic Man Cave? Well, that's where you, the subscribers, come in. I'll be posting a poll on both the YouTube community tab and on Facebook in the next few days to ask what content you would like to see on the channel. I will of course continue to produce channel favourites such as the Wargame and Model Railway show reviews and of course the battle reports, but would be interested in knowing what you enjoy watching. With that, I'll leave you with an excerpt from one of my favourite videos from this channel review of the Retro Attic Man Cave.